ready? Good evening. The regular meeting of the Richmond Board of Education will come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Sandy, if you could please read our mission statement and take roll call.
Sure. At Richmond Community Schools, we provide a quality education that empowers students to be successful in a global community. Board Member Telto. Here. Board Member Sutton. Here. Board Member Pacito. Here. Board Member Oldani. Here. Board Member Cunningham. Here. Board Member Michon.
Here.
And I am here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. At this time, I'm looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Support.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Do I have support?
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion, Mr. Walmsley?
You should have received an updated personnel report that was placed in front of you this morning, or this evening. I'll turn it over to Mr. Thiel to go over the personnel report.
So for resignations and retirements, we have Terry Askew, who is a bus driver. She's resigning from her additional position as lunchroom supervisor at Lee. Dante Buffalini, who's a culinary arts teacher, he resigned. Deb Osterlin is retiring February 15th. She's a food service employee at Lee. For terminations, we have Jeffrey Worf, who's a PM custodian at the middle school. Matthew Harms, who's a PM custodian at the high school, and Ricky Holbrook, who is a coach at the high school for varsity tennis. New hires are Sarah Bishop, culinary arts teacher at the high school, Jennifer Dixon, bus driver, Allison Gertschy, teacher consultant at the middle school, Christina Hamlick, assistant cook at Richmond Middle School, Zachary Osborne is a counselor at Lee, but right now he's filling in for another counselor at the high school. Christy Smith, who's a bus driver. Amanda Upchurch, assistant cook at Richmond Middle School. Lindsay Warnick, assistant cook, district-wide floater. Notice of appointments, we have Kara Fair, who's a head cook at Richmond Middle School. Ann Gallagher, first Lego League coach at the middle school. Wendy Ori, she's another assistant cook, district-wide floater. Karen Sija is a varsity tennis coach at the high school. Amanda Turpin, tutor at Richmond Middle School. And Lindsay, who was hired originally as the assistant district-wide floater, just got transferred to assistant cook at Lee Elementary.
There were no errors that were brought to my attention in the minutes on December 11th, January 8th, or January 13th. I did receive a couple of questions on the claims and accounts, and I talked to quite a few board members, and someone asked me questions, and I can't remember who, so if this is your question, just either own it or don't. I truly don't remember. Now I got some from Deb Michon. She had questioned the check numbers 5585, which was a mileage check. It was mine. Why was it kind of questioning why it was for multiple years? There's no good reason other than I did not turn it in, and I was just catching up. Check number 55925, tuition for an employee. It's part of, it's Angela Blake. It's part of her contract that we paid one MSB, Michigan School Board Business. School business officials, thank you. Class, and so she's been doing that for the last several years, so long as she passes the class. The tuition payment, check 55976 for Chippewa Valley. That's the IAM program. We pay for our students to go there, and Chippewa Valley is the house agent for that program. And then there was a check that was cut for $56,007. It was a parking ticket. I did some research on this one. The directions that the teacher and the bus driver read to take our students down to Little Caesars Arena at one of their field trips they misread the directions and parked in the wrong spot. There was a $45 parking ticket that we were issued, so we paid the $45. And I believe there was someone else, I truly can't remember who asked another question, so.
I asked you about but I said, I didn't know if you were gonna, I asked the question about the coaches with the mileage,
Oh, yes.
how that,
Yeah.
every coach is afforded that, how did that work, was what my question was.
So when coaches go to away games, if they're driving separately or for whatever reason, we reimburse them the mileage. It is gone over at the coaches meeting that Preston has 3 times a year. Some coaches opt to, some don't.
And that's really, my question was, I just saw the amount of money, and so it didn't register that I had seen it much before, so I just asked, I would assume that's what we offer them, but I just want to know what the procedure was.
That was the same thing about my question with the Chippewa Valley. I couldn't remember us
That we
doing
had
it or
that
seeing
agreement. I
it,
mean,
yeah, and I
it's one of
just,
those
it clicked as soon as he said,
One
I
of those
saw
checks
it.
we issue twice a year that you don't always remember.
Yeah.
Tammy, did you get any questions or anything emailed to you that you?
I did not.
Okay. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the board?
I guess I do, Ms. Walmsley. There's a lot of, it looks like there's a lot of movement in the cook positions. Is there something,
So one of the things that we started, was it last year, Tammy, the floater? And we had 1 last year, and we have 2 this year. Because in the food service, we were finding, prior to bringing everybody up to at least $15 an hour, a lot of movement. People get in, and this isn't what they thought it was. So last year, we began, I'm going to call it an extra position called a floater, so that if we had a vacancy, that floater could move in. We use it also when there's absences, because there's not a lot of subs in the food service to pull. This year, we have 2 floaters, and it actually has helped us maintain operation because we've been pulling them to backfill as people have chosen to leave or this isn't for them. Like Deb's position, who's retiring, we now have someone can move into that, and we can begin training that person. So it has helped tremendously in the organization. But there's nothing, I would say, out of the ordinary this year in terms of the amount of movement. The difference is we have those 2 floaters that we can move people into permanent positions quicker. And so when everybody's filled and everything's operational, those floaters then we split between the 3 buildings to provide some extra set of hands during breakfast or lunch programming. They also help with the cooking of the soups and that when they do their homemade soups and all that stuff like that.
I guess I was thinking more on the lines of with all the free meals and now providing the breakfasts free for if there was just more work than usual
I will say
because of that.
there is more work. I mean, Lee's probably 200 plus breakfasts easily in the morning every day out of 500 kids. So there is more work. Their hours, we look at the hours, we've increased hours. Actually, Lee now has 3 people where prior to COVID, they only had the 2. They had Michelle and Deb Osterlin. Now they have 3 people over there, just for this sheer side. And
That's
also you got
what I
the
figured it was
GSRP
getting
programs too that were over there too, and Head Start in the building, so.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First item, or the next item under our presentation is our instructional spotlight, computer science program and courses with Ms. Staples.
This program, letter A, will move right into our celebration on letter B. Do you have it on the computer there?
I do.
Let me switch the screen over here.
Well, good evening. Ms. Campo is not able to be here tonight, but she was invited to be here with us. Just a little bit about our computer science program here at the high school. I just wanted to give you some facts. Obviously, I've kind of come up here and talked a lot about computer science and esports before, but of course, we have something to celebrate tonight, so I'll be going over some really great facts for us. In Michigan, the percentage, well, let me go through this. Perfect, thank you. Just some fun facts. The graph on the left is the percentage of public high schools offering foundational computer science. You can see that it has increased drastically just within the last few years here in the state of Michigan. That's that upper graph. It talks about that small schools are 2 times less likely to offer computer science than other schools. And something that we all need to be really, really proud about is that we have not only created computer science courses, foundational level, we have created an entire computer science pathway for students. You can see here on the graph on the right, this is where Michigan, the state of Michigan, falls nationally on offering foundational computer science courses. You can see that here we're ranked in the lower middle, but you can see only around 55% of schools in Michigan offer a foundational computer science class. So just to kind of set the stage of just how necessary and important our pathway is for students here at the high school. Just over these last few years, you can see this is a really wonderful graph. You can see our computer science enrollment trend has completely gone up from the year 21-22 to current. What is fantastic is, we first put in computer programming and video game development. We weren't really sure how it was going to go, and it is now the most requested course at the high school. So, very neat. We currently have around 60 students that are currently enrolled in the computer programming and video game development class. Some of these people actually, yes. We have 15 students, 30 set to be in semester 2 just next week, doing the esports master coding class, and we are offering AP computer science principles. So this is a great way for students to be able to take a high school class but still be able to earn college credit because it is worth it for AP. So we're also expanding our AP offerings as well. A few notes from Ms. Campo. Here at the computer science courses at the high school, we utilize Python coding and game design. It's called Unreal Imagine and Twin Motion, which are really neat programs that kids can create their own spaces and be able to program everything in. You know that one of the requirements of a CTE program is to have a certification, and we are currently offering the Python coding so that they can earn industry credentials. So students graduating from Richmond taking a computer science course will have a Python coding credential. Esports and master coding. Students are learning about esports from a player's aspect as well as from careers related to it, such as shoutcasting, web design, social media. Students are learning HTML, CS, and Java as part of their coding languages that is all introduced in these computer science courses. Another aspect of the CTE class is the leadership component. Richmond proudly participates in the worldwide event of the International Hour of Code. It is a K-12 initiative where 1 hour every single student in our district completely dives into computer coding using an app called code.org, where they've got tons of great games and introduction lessons for coding at all levels. And part of the leadership component is our computer science class. They actually create these mini lessons in vignettes, and they go down to the elementary, K-5, and then they actually do them for the class. And they get to help the kids with their computers and actually log in and code. And you can see some of our littlest learners here all learning how to code and being excited to learn it. And that is something that we celebrate typically the first week in December. So you should see it. And just some more pictures of our International Hour of Code. I love her expression right here. She's so excited that she got the person to move. So it's a whole thing. This little kid's got a sign. This is Hour of Code. They were all excited. But the kids, the computer science kids that develop these lessons, it's just so wonderful to see them go in and do these lessons. The kids you don't typically, would think that would do it. They were so nervous, and they loved it though, and helping them expand their passion of something they're interested in. It's really wonderful. So that's part of the leadership component. And any questions I'm sorry I can't offer more information. Like I said, Ms. Conco's out sick, but just wanted to give a quick overview of our computer science programs and pathways we've created here at Richmond.
Which leads us right into the
That's right.
celebration we have tonight.
Woohoo!
So, turn it back over to you, Mrs.
I have one question. We were talking about the small schools. Are we considered that in that? Okay, I
Yes.
figured. I just wanted to ask.
Yes,
sure.
we
So
are.
that's pretty, okay.
Which is why, you know, us having this is so unique and special. Just last year alone, there was $16 million of scholarships offered to kids for esports. This truly is our future, and we are on the pulse of this, and it's just really exciting. So, this leads us to our wonderful celebration tonight. We have our Richmond esports team. I'm going to just say a few things, and then I'm going to hand it over to Coach Hill and the team. As you know from previous presentations, esports is the fastest growing sport in the world. When they have their competitions, their worldwide competitions, it is the second most watched event, next to the Super Bowl. Globally, millions and billions of people log in to watch other people play video games. And I don't know about you, but Saturday night in December, I know of a special Saturday night in December where I was logging in to Twitch to watch all of you live, and I was screaming, yelling, and it was just wonderful. So we all chose to do it too, to learn about this, but research has found that a large crossover between esports players and STEAM interests. Did you know that more than 50% of aspiring esports students pursue college majors in the STEM field? Colleges across the country offer millions of dollars in scholarship money offered to esports players. Esports engages students who might not otherwise participate in any other school activity or athletics. Students build character and develop self-discipline, self-esteem, sportsmanship through practice and competition. Many students are already passionate about gaming, and esports provides many students an environment where they can come together and share a common interest. And it is just so wonderful. I'm just so excited. Okay. So I can't. So now, Coach Hill, come on up here, because congratulations. We've done esports, and first year, not only are we doing it, what is it? You know, those type of things. But we won, of all things. We won the state championship. So congratulations, Coach Hill. All right, talk about your program and brag all about it.
Got it.
All right.
Easy to that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So, first question, I get this a lot, usually from parents or other people I talk to about it, but what is esports? Like, how does it work? Renee kind of summed it up, but essentially it's a way for students to come together who don't really like to do traditional sports, and they compete in other ways, right? Obviously with video games. And there's a wide variety of games. This year we only really focused on 5. It was my first year, so I wanted to condense it, kind of make it simple. Oh yeah, sure, so we can just touch it here. Okay. So teams and players, they have a lot of opportunity to win scholarships, which was something that we talked about, and kids got to go to breakout sessions actually at Oakland University when we went there for an esports conference that me and Kathy took, all the groups did. So right now the team is comprised of around 25 students, and we're expecting that to grow quite a bit in the spring semester, because I have probably about 100 kids each day coming up to me and asking me, hey, can we play this game? Can we play this game? Can we add this one? When are you going to play Fortnite with us? I'm like, well, that's not something I can do just yet, but we'll see what we can do. So it's great to see that kind of excitement around a program that's just starting off. So, sorry. How does it work? This is probably the second more popular question. How does it work? Do you drive the kids to the school and they play and then you come back? No, it's way easier than that. We go in, the students, they're waiting for me at the door. They can't wait to get in, right? And I unlock it, and they go in and they set everything up, right? I hardly have to do anything. The only thing that I really do is make sure that's set up correctly, and then when we break down for the day, make sure that it's all put away correctly. But the students take all the initiative, they set up all the things that they need for either that competition for the day or either for the practice. We use a platform called Play Versus. Recently, they just made it so you can play for free. So initially, we spent some money, but I'm pretty sure we're going to get that back. So we're allowed to play for free on that platform. And what they do is they put schools from all over in Michigan, and they put us all in a big group, and they just kind of bracket it out. And at the end of the year, if you are part of the playoffs, you keep progressing, and then eventually you go all the way into the finals, which is state finals, which you guys probably already know. One of the teams went, and they won state champions for one of those games. We'll get there when we get there. So what games are available? Generally, we try to find a balance between student interest and esport popularity. So there's no reason to try to have esports at a school for a game that no one's going to play or you can compete for. Something that I want to start doing a lot more of is providing games where students could possibly get scholarships for winning. Sadly, Mario Kart isn't a very popular college game, so we're adding another game this year called Valorant, which is on the rise. And at the conference that we went to, I talked to a lot of the college coaches, and they think that that is going to be the most popular game within the coming years. So naturally, Play Versus added that one, and we're going to take advantage of that and start playing that game. I think it's great to try and provide games that could give the students aid in college, right? So if we're going to win states, it'd be great if they could get some monetary payment for that. So below are the 5 games that we have: Overwatch 2, Smash Brothers, Rocket League, Splatoon 3, and Mario Kart 8. I don't have enough time to go in depth and kind of talk to you all about those. I would love to. If you'd like to ask questions about it later, I will go in depth. But right now, we will kind of skip over that. So how is it beneficial? I get a lot of students asking me, why do you do this? It's just kids playing games. Like there's no way that they get their homework done. That's something my parents told me. They're like, don't you think it's just a way for students to kind of avoid their homework? And traditionally, yes, but in this sense, no. We haven't done eligibility, which is something that I want to enforce this upcoming season. We haven't done it before. Don't tell the kids I told them we were, so that they kind of keep their grades in check. Unfortunately, there was one instance where a teacher had to approach me and say, hey, this student is not performing well. It's probably not right that they're playing esports at the end of every day, right? They're just kind of going and playing games when they could be doing schoolwork. And that kind of came to light that I should be enforcing eligibility. But I did tell that same student, hey man, you can't come in anymore, you gotta get your grades up. Well, 2 weeks later, he approaches me and says, hey Mr. Hill, I got my grades up, you can check. And sure enough, I checked, his grades were up. I said, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. So it's not just a way for kids to come, and put off their homework. It's actually, in a way, an incentive for them to do it, right? So I think that's great. So it's more than just playing video games, like I said. It builds teamwork. Kids come in, they set everything up, right? They're playing as a team. Each game, even if there's individual play, somehow ties into teamwork, right? So like wrestling, I was a wrestler in high school, so one wrestler goes out and wrestles for his team, right? It is a one-on-one type of game, while it still benefits your team in order to win. So that's how the games are set up there. Obviously, it develops a lot of social skills. We all know that sometimes tech people don't always have the greatest social skills, so being able to be around other people with similar interests and building those social skills, that's great. So, and then obviously networking. At Oakland Conference, there was so many different important people that these kids came in contact with, whether it was other colleges or other students that they could connect with online, make friends from other schools, stuff like that. And then lastly, as you know, we won state champs, which was awesome. I would take all the credit for it, but that would be wrong. It was totally the kids. They know the game way better than me. I was just there for moral support and make sure that they were on track and they knew what they had to do and they performed. So in order from left to right, the students that we're going to be congratulating today is Talon Holwick, Ethan DeLang, Roland LaRuth, and Lucas Van Den Appeal. And thankfully, we have a couple students who made it out here with us today. So maybe a round of applause just for these two guys.
First.
And he's got his medal.
Oh,
My
yeah.
goodness, Talon, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We'll do this one when we come up. So the board can congratulate them.
Yes. All right. And now, please stand up. We're all going to shake hands. We're going to give them their awards. We're going to take a picture.
board members, if you want to head that way,
Yep.
give them their, shaking their hands, and we'll do a picture.
Kiss her, Hill, you can. Ah, where'd you do it? Okay, oh, hurry up.
I watched you guys, I just want you to know, I was amazed.
Yeah, it was so fun to watch. And so we're all gonna get together, we're all gonna have a lovely picture.
About 30 minutes we were watching my screen. So.
Thank you.
I would look at that video.
Great job. All right. Great job.
I can be in the back.
Split it out, so it's one more.
All right. Mr. Walmsley, come on in. All right. And smile, yay, congratulations. Woohoo! You all did such a wonderful job.
I just,
Congratulations.
yeah, guys, I
That's
just,
amazing. You would like to say?
I don't really.
So this program, I was here for the start of it from last year, and we made it to playoffs last year with Mario Kart, but we lost first round, and it's sort of like a build-up moment to this. It's really nice to go out after school, hang out with a bunch of peers that know exactly what we enjoy, like what we like, and it's very nice to just do that weekly and sort of have teamwork together and work together.
Yeah, kind of like the same thing he said. But like a lot of the people like that I played with, like Ethan Galang, I didn't really know him until esports, and like he's like a really cool person, and I loved playing with him. And some other people who were also there, that like I kind of knew the name of, but I didn't really like get to talk to a lot. I got to talk to a good amount, and like we now talk to each other and play with other games with each other. It's pretty fun.
Do you guys use your own equipment?
I was going to ask that same question.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or is there school equipment, or what do you do?
yeah, the school has a couple switches that we use and some other controllers, but
Okay.
usually if you wanted to bring your own stuff in, so you could, because a lot of people like their own like settings.
Right.
And sensitivities and all that, and like their own controllers, we could bring it in, and it really did help, because like for the states, I know I brought my own controller, or when I always use the one that the school provided, so.
And the system you guys used was the Switch?
Yeah, for Mario Kart.
Yeah, okay, that's right.
and Mrs. Michon told you she went.
We
I watched
watched.
you guys, and I just have to tell you, I have not screamed that much except for like watching a football game or being at a wrestling match. Honestly, and it took me a
She's
little
true.
bit to figure things out, because I really don't know the Mario and all that. My sister was watching with me, but once I figured out, I mean, I'm literally yelling, this guy, getting him, you get this point. I figured out the points you were getting. It was just so exciting. So good for you, and I'm so glad that we did this and that we have this for you guys, and you just made us proud. It was really darn cool, very cool.
I have to say the same thing. I didn't know either. I got on when I got on, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? And how do I figure out where to go? And once I got going, my husband's like, what are you yelling at? Because I had it up on my iPad, and I'm just yelling at my iPad.
So it was like it was a big event.
So it was very cool.
We had a dramatic ending to that too with the tie.
I know.
Yes.
That's the first
Crazy.
time they ever seen that before.
Yeah, we heard of the
The
announcers.
two announcers were entertaining.
Yeah.
I didn't like the one guy, but I can't remember, Shades.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good guy.
He was the winner for the contest that they held.
Oh,
So it's a
okay.
student for-
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Well, okay, good.
There was,
But one of them was like not real, the way he was talking, the other school was better. And literally, I'm not kidding you, I'm yelling at the TV, what do you know? We're gonna win. I mean, it was just crazy stuff listening to these. And just like when I watch a football game at home, I turn the sound down so I don't have to listen to the announcers. That's what I did here, so I didn't have to hear what they were saying. But The one
It
guy
is
was
very cool.
wrong, yeah.
It's very
That
cool.
was really cool.
Congratulations.
Was it loud, because you could hear, were people yelling there? Because it sounded like it was,
Could you hear-
Honestly,
there was
you were
stuff
louder
going on?
than anything else.
It was a little bit loud.
because you could kind of hear that, and I couldn't tell if
Right.
it was really happening or if it was just sound effects.
No,
That was the other room, because they had this little tiny room with the door open.
Okay.
They could hear the the cheering and all that.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where did you guys travel for the finals?
We were at Oakland for
Yeah.
the finals, yeah.
Oakland University?
Yeah.
Yep.
But everywhere else you had the school?
Yeah.
Everywhere else we were home.
And if you couldn't make it to the school for some reason, if you could play at home, you could play.
Yeah, you could play.
you could
wow.
play.
So if for some reason a kid was out sick, they could just play from home. They just kind of log in. It's like,
That's awesome.
It's just good for you. That is just really, really cool.
Well, thank you very, very much for coming tonight. We appreciate that.
And bonus, no school tomorrow.
Yeah.
We heard about that in bowling, we were so happy.
We did that as your reward.
Yeah.
That's your reward. Play your games tonight, all night. You don't have to open again in the exam. Sorry, should study for your exam.
So
Mine's
we
a-
run
a
this,
hands-on exam, so.
Oh, you're good.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you'll do well on your esports exam.
right.
So,
So do we run this, is this a semester class? Is there a class?
It's a year,
It's a year long.
we have it broken down, but yeah, so you can take it for a year.
Okay, and they compete how many times in that year?
2 times, there's a fall season and a spring season, so we just had the fall competition, spring is gonna kick up, which we anticipate even more kids wanting to join.
So you can win again in the spring?
Yeah.
Yes, and,
Oh, wow, a double win. Oh, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, I know.
Do you have to be in the class to participate?
No, you don't, because
Okay, good.
I wasn't.
Lucas is
Okay.
not in the class, I'm in the class, and you don't have to be affiliated with the class whatsoever to be a part
Okay,
of this.
so
good.
we sort of hold tryouts.
Okay.
So, because there's a lot of kids.
That's why I was wondering, are you going to get to that point where you might need to?
There's quite a bit of interest, so, yeah.
Well, anytime you have success and kids look
Yeah.
and see what you've done, they want to do it too.
Right.
It's something they're interested in, so you've just sparked it by your championship. You've got kids going, hey, wait a minute, I want to do that too. That's really cool.
And for all future years, all the kids that want to do this.
That's right,
You are the first.
you were the
Yeah.
ones that started it all. I mean, that's pretty cool,
Very cool.
yes.
So congratulations, and
Yep.
thank you all very much. Both
Thank you.
And we'll see you in the spring.
Yes. Thank you very much.
I will tell you this, this weekend I sent a text to Ms. Staples, and I said I found a field trip for the esports team. Michigan State University, the first university to open up an esports lounge.
Yeah.
They just
Oh,
publicized it this weekend
goodness.
because of the demand and the increase. So as a graduate of there, I'm more than happy to get
It's been a plug
That
there.
sounds awesome.
You heard it here first. I'm
There
here.
you go.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much. Okay, next item on our agenda is our Board of Education month recognition. Mr. Walmsley.
Well, good evening. Each January, we get to celebrate School Board Appreciation Month. And I'd like to take this opportunity to recognize the countless hours these 7 individuals dedicate each and every year. From our board president to our vice president, secretary, treasurer, and our trustees. The hours that are put forward, really the public does not really truly understand what it takes to be, what you guys have committed to be a school board member. The Richmond Board of Education serves a vital role in shaping the educational experiences of our students, as you saw here tonight. You know, if it wasn't for the support of the board, many programs like these would not exist, and as well as the overall success of our district. You set policies, you do hiring, you evaluate superintendent, you guide the financial health of the school district, and help foster a community that fosters not only academic achievements, personal development, and a sense of belonging for every student and staff who walks through our doors. Over the past 7 years, our board members have assisted with the oversight of one of the major projects we've done as an organization with our 2019 bond. upgrading and improving our facilities. This was no small feat in terms of the hours and the paperwork and the documents that you reviewed to make those hard decisions and the decisions that were best for the district. Beyond preparing for board meetings, as you did tonight, many of our school board members, in fact all of them at some point, have taken courses to better themselves. These courses have helped them to gain valuable information just to become a better school board member. As superintendent, I value the commitment that you have made to this community and the diverse voices and experiences that you bring to the table making these decisions. So I'd like to thank everybody here for their time as a school board member and their dedication as a school board member. I'd also like to thank, I haven't done this in a while, Connor, because he's also a member of the school board. I want to take this number to express my gratitude to him for the incredible work and dedication he has shown as a school board representative. Your role as an advocate for the student body is invaluable, and your commitment to making our school a better place doesn't go unnoticed. The passion you bring to the table is truly inspiring and is evident that you are making a positive impact in the shape of our educational environment and helping this board transform our organization and make significant improvements. Your willingness to step up into a leadership position at such a young age is commendable, and I believe it reflects the personal qualities that you hold and the support you've been given by mentors, teachers, and your family. So with that, thank you for joining our board as a school board appreciation. So we have some small tokens of appreciation for you. So when I call your name, if you would come up and I give you your certificate, I'm going to go this way. No particular order, but it's this way. So we'll start with Connor. For the board members, your baskets are there. I believe there's a name on the basket because some of the gifts are customized to you. So make sure you grab your basket when you leave. Margaret Telto. Thank you. Candace Cunningham. Kelly O'Donnell. Deb Michon. Angela Bassito. Mandy Fortuna. Daniel Sutton. I truly mean this on behalf of the entire district. Your ability to come to a table, bring your perspective, respect each other from that perspective, and come together and unify makes all of our job very easy. So for the kids and students in this district, thank you for your dedication.
Thank you. Okay, next item on our agenda is our blue double raids. Call your name, have somebody. Margaret, you're first.
Okay, yeah, I was able to go on Saturday to the powerlifting meet, I guess. We were only able to watch the girls because we had something to do in the afternoon, but you know how I always say power to the women? Holy goodness, power to the women. Our girls did a great job, and I don't even know how many schools were there, but it had to be more than 15, 18 schools that were competing. And so it was interesting. There was a couple, like Romeo was there, Merritt Academy, but schools from all over. It was just really neat to see, and to see our girls, you know, all shapes and sizes of girls and lifting the weights. And, you know, one girl from school was 365 pounds and chucking her around. But we had 4 girls who medaled. Jordan Jones took first, Leah DeMambro, Riley Pistush and Sophia Jackson took second, and it's in your weight class. You compete with other people within your weight class. You know, you do the bench pressing and the squat and the deadlift, dead pull is what I kept calling it on Saturday. But just, I was just excited to see our girls, and I'm not sure how many girls we had, but I think 12 or 13, I think, as I was counting, if I missed, but just good for them and good for us for giving all those kids, and the boys, like I said, they were able to compete in the afternoon, and it looked to me like there was at least the same amount of boys that were sitting there waiting to compete afterwards, but it was pretty cool.
There's a couple of boys that medaled. One off the top of my head was, I think, Bryce Yank medaled, and Louis Logan Evans medaled. But there's a couple of boys people as well. Yeah. When it comes to the students, a lot of kids who maybe they're not participating in winter sports, but they're participating in fall or spring sport. It's another good socially bonding sport that it's much of common interest, and they all love the work. So.
Yeah, and that a parent came up to me and thanked, the board for doing it, and commented that the confidence that it gave his daughter. And as I was watching, I was thinking, yeah, absolutely. You're getting up. That doesn't matter how tall you are, you can do it. If you work at it. So it was very cool. So yay, our powerlifting team.
Thank you.
Just to follow Coach Vaba email, we had four JV girls could qualify for states.
Yeah, because it was a regional competition. Yes. Yeah, those 4 girls that I mentioned are the ones. Yes.
Cool. Okay, Danielle, do you have anything?
I'm all set.
Candace?
I'm all set.
Kelly?
No, I'm good today.
All right. Angela?
I just wanted to, say congratulations to those middle schoolers that participated in the solo and ensemble for band. They just completed that. And then I want to wish good luck to the high schoolers, which will be competing, I believe it is February 4th, for their solo ensemble. It's a lot of extra work. It's not a grade assignment. It's something that they all sign up to do extra. And I just want to wish them luck and congratulate those that have already competed.
Thank you. Sadie?
I do not have anything today.
I just want to acknowledge our honors chorale. They took a first division rating and qualified for states. Our new hire, Mrs. Maples, was our director and accompanying us. And also Claire Milbrand, she did a solo and she received a first division rating and qualified for states. So I just want to acknowledge them. Okay, next item on our board is our student board of report. Connor?
Here we go. Starting off in the elementary school, the kindergarten roundup will be held on Wednesday, February 28th, and the preschool roundup will be held on Thursday, the 29th. The staff at Lee began diving into NWEA data and creating individualized learning plans for every student during the Monday professional development. Students are meeting their reading goals, and students are having a blast earning ducks on duck days. In the middle school, we are starting our second round of NWEA testing, while our older students also complete their final exams. On Thursday, January 11th, our fantastic PTO sponsored our first Cosmic Bingo, and it was a great success with lots of fun. On Friday, January 6, 2024, is our 7th and 8th grade winter dance. We're very excited to be offering community service hours to our NHS students and have about 15 students coming to help. And then later this winter, we will have an event for our 4th, 5th, and 6th graders. Our RMS staff participated in a very informative district-provided professional development on Monday, January 15th. Our staff was certified in CPR, and in the afternoon, they learned with Liz Leitz from the MISD on Notes and Noticing, which is a strategy for informational text comprehension and can be used in all subject areas. Finally, the staff and students of our RMS would like to wish our Board of Education a very happy Board of Education Appreciation Month. In the high school, there will be a FAFSA night on January 23rd at 6:30. All students attending trade school, community college, or a four-year institution should plan to attend. If there's any questions, please contact Mr. Zach Osborne. Richmond High School Theater presents Plucky Pie Murder on Friday, January 26th and Saturday, January 27th in the Richmond High School Auditorium at 6 p.m. Richmond High School is excited to be providing a variety of opportunities to support the well-being of our students and staff in the upcoming months. The goal of this health and wellness program is to encourage healthy habits that can be accomplished in a variety of ways to benefit one's overall health and well-being. We will be focusing on enhancing physical health, social well-being, resilience to stress, and encouraging kindness and gratitude. Richmond High School will be participating in this year's Macomb County Diversity Summit, themed Voices Amplified, the Power of Your Voice. 10 high school students will be attending Thursday, February 15th to engage in important conversations about diversity and provide all students with opportunities for personal growth and understanding of shared student perspectives and experiences. In the athletics, last week the boys and girls basketball teams hosted Imlay City on Thursday. While both teams kept it close, they both came up short. For the boys game, the Snow-Coming Court, including their king and queen, were honored at halftime. Both teams will play Algonac tonight, and later this week they will play Yale. The wrestling team traveled to Bad Axe for an individual tournament 2 weekends ago. The team took second overall and had multiple tournament champions. Kyson Nibby, Jacob Vink, Wyatt Peters, and Matt Mish all won their respective weight classes. Pauline Chapman also won her weight class in the Lady Falcon tournament as well last week. And the team traveled to Fenton this last weekend and won the tournament overall, knocking off a top 10 Division II team in Fenton in the championship duel. They will be wrestling number 1 in Division II Lowell at Lowell on Wednesday, and they will wrestle Algonac for the BWAC championship on Friday in Algonac. And then they also have their annual alumni duels at RHS on Saturday. And finally, we are working with Armada to come out with a Penny Wars for our rival game for Armada. This is something that I have been talking with Coach Trent about in our Student Athlete Advisory Council. We are working to have a Penny Wars against Armada, and we did a couple years ago with Armada when Mr. Castle was here. And basically how it works is we'll both have our respective Penny Wars, and then the losing principal will have to wear the rival team's mascot after halftime. We won the Penny Wars last time, and this year we are donating all the proceeds to Callie Newberry, who was a sports reporter for the BWAC and all local sports programs in the area, as she passed away last year due to a car crash. So we are donating all the proceeds to her family, and I believe we were trying to figure out some sort of scholarship as well to give out as well. And that is all.
So can anybody donate to this penny war?
Yeah, anyone, so it'll
And
be,
where?
it'll be in the high school.
office.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be in the front office right in the high school, and it'll be open at any time, so if you'd like to come in and donate, you can as well.
So if you want to go to the bank and accidentally cash out some pennies.
What's the deadline though?
What is the,
I'll have, let me check, I'll look up on the next,
Okay.
when we play our, it's whenever we play our Armada.
It's in
Okay.
February.
In February.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's-
okay. So it's not-
Yeah, it's not, it'll start the week of the Armada game, because I believe it's a Friday night, is when we play Armada. So that whole week, it'll be open during school, and then my guess during the game, there'll still be those buckets out, unless we'll probably count them during school, and then we'll announce the winner at halftime.
and then they come in, they change into the outfit. Okay.
Does silver coins work for or against you?
That we're still trying to figure
Okay,
out.
because I know at the elementary, when they do pennies,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
drop
Right,
the
it's
silver, it works
silver,
against
right.
you.
Right, I believe, yeah, pennies and dollars go
Yeah, this is
for,
just-
and then silver.
Okay, I'll give you some hot gigs.
And then silver. I think that's still how we're gonna do it.
Okay.
But we, just something that I thought I'd mention. we were discussing it with Coach Trent last week.
So Connor, make sure we get the details so we can help out. Because we want to see, would
So
that
you
be
can only
Mr.
collect the
Castle
pennies
or
of that.
Debbie?
Blue Devil.
At the
So
Blue
Castle
Devil.
will be wearing the Blue Devil mask.
Which has to happen, so.
Yeah, I was able to talk to Mr. Castle last week when Richmond played Armada in girls basketball, and I told him what was happening. I told him he was going to be wearing the mask. He was going to be wearing it, so.
Notice the competitiveness here.
For a good
February
cause.
20th is when we'll be playing Armada.
Okay, so the week prior to
It's a
that.
Tuesday.
So my guess is we'll probably do the penny worth the week prior.
Okay.
All week.
Okay.
So that's all I have.
Thank you, Connor. Okay, our next item on our agenda is the superintendent and legislative update. Mr. Walmsley.
As it was talked about earlier, school is closed tomorrow, looking at the wind chill, the freezing rain. It just is not safe to have kids travel. So that went out about 6 o'clock tonight. I know the southern part of Macomb County is having their call later this evening or into the early morning. We decided to close early, give parents an opportunity to make arrange for childcare. So, on January 12th, I participated in the Consensus Revenue Estimating Conference. This is where the state fiscal agency, or excuse me, the Senate fiscal agency, the House fiscal agency, and the governor all come together and put their projections out for the state's forecast, financial forecast for the current year, 2025 and 2026, the upcoming years. Well, they never always agree. They were pretty consistent that it's projected to be an increase, but not a very large increase. So coming up, the governor will be giving her State of the State address. By mid-February, by statutory law, she has to issue her budget. That will be our first sense of a budget. I don't think we'll get much from the Senate or the House till after these special elections are held. But every piece that everybody I've talked to from the financial world, and even after when Tammy and I were on for the how does this impact the school aid fund, they said don't expect the per pupils that we received the last 2 years. May get an increase, but not to the level that it was. And we knew that for the last several years that level is not sustainable. Maybe they'll find it and prove us wrong, who knows. I want to echo Honors Corral as well as the middle school band, their achievements. Mrs. Shack, the band director, and our new band teacher, Mrs. Maples, who also is the accompanist. They did an outstanding job. There were actually 2 middle school bands that received strong first division ratings, and then our honors choir, that you had mentioned. If you haven't seen it, every Monday I put a superintendent shout-out message. The past, since January, we come back. We've talked about the school index report, we did a board appreciation. This one, today's was about the esports team, and next week's talks about and highlights the middle school band and honors chorale. So just a chance for us to showcase good things going on in the district and acknowledge the staff that are involved.
So you just started that this month, is that what you said?
This January, every Monday
Because
there'll
I
be.
just noticed it, I didn't
Every
know
Monday.
that
We
was-
post them on Facebook and then we put it on the website.
Okay.
In front of you have the communicator. These are being mailed out this week to, some may have already been mailed out, I know they were printing over the weekend. Over 8,000 households of businesses within the zip codes of district services, which is the township of Casco, Columbus, Lenox, and Richmond, as well as the city of Richmond. The next district newsletter is scheduled to be released in the end of June. It will be kind of a culmination of the 23-24 school year and the celebration of things. I know there was a previous question, I don't remember who asked about, could we get this in color? It's about $8,000 just to print it in color. One of the suggestions was, could we look at maybe finding some business sponsors to offset costs? I'm going to explore it. I don't know if that's going to happen by June, but we're going to at least explore if is there people out there that might be interested. But the colored version, I believe it's on the website under the superintendent's tab. There's a newsletter with all the past newsletters on there that you can print if you want to see it in color.
Could we look into just doing the front page in
That's what
color?
I was wondering.
Typically, you have to do them in groups of the 4
Does it? Oh, okay, got it.
because they're printed on the 8.5 by or 11 by 17 paper. So
That makes sense.
And then again, I can look into it, see if how much more it is, because combining color and black and white, if they're more labor intensive, I don't know. But I can at least check it, at least get the color. As Connor said, the kindergarten roundup is coming up in preschool. Class of 2037 kindergartners are coming on the 28th. And class of 2038 and 2039 will be welcoming on February 29th. We'll be hosting a dinner for the families and our incoming Blue Devils. Everybody at the table here is welcome, as well as those that are registering that night. Dinner will begin serving at 4:30, and all of the events will start at 5. If you can, please feel free to come. Mr. Gibson is doing a signing day, so he's got a whole situation set up for kids to sign and commit to being a Blue Devil. We've got bus rides for kindergartners planned that night, where they can actually ride the bus. It won't be very long, but it is kind of dark still at that time. And then we got posters and stuff like that.
Smiley fries.
Smiley fries and hot dogs, I think, is the meal. So if you can come out at least for the dinner, at least see the opening, come and see all the families, and welcome our class of 2037, 38, and 39. That is Wednesday the 28th and Thursday, February 29th.
Thank you.
Do we have double ducks that maybe we can give them?
Oh, there we
I've
go.
looked into this. Custom-made ducks, the Blue Devil duck. I know, I'm looking into this.
Oh, I
And
love
most
it.
likely it
There's
will
got to be one.
Right, of course.
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. I know you can get them, or we can get just plain ducks with something we can put on top of them. You know, we can do this.
Good idea.
Okay, next item on our agenda is items of interest from the board. I'm going to start first this time. Usually I wait, but I'm going to go. I wanted to share with our community that the board and Mr. Walmsley participated in a workshop on Saturday, January 13th. Some of our items of interest or our agenda was a board self-evaluation, review of our meetings and agenda items, communication with the community, review of board policies and responsibility, and board goals. The board shared their comments and suggestions on the Michigan Association of School Boards self-assessment tool. From that discussion, we developed 4 goals as a board that we are going to work on during the 2024 school year. The first goal is in leadership. The board will try to contact fellow board members if differences of opinion arise, to be sure that no personal conflicts affect the operation of our board as a whole. Our academic performance goal, the board will celebrate success at all levels of the system that improves district performance. Our board responsibility goal, the board will ask for future updates on policy implementation at a board meeting when policies are being reviewed or voted on for implementation. Our board effectiveness goal is the board will hold a state of the district allowing community time for questions and answers. Other items we discussed, we revisited our raves. We've now done it for 1 year, so we took a look at it. We're going to continue it. Same thing with our student representative. We've tweaked it a little bit, so Connor's got a new job we're going to try out. The board also has established that our regular meetings will start at 7, no change. Our non-student staff and special meetings will begin at 6:30. The board committed to scheduling student discipline hearings at a special meeting beginning at 6 p.m. before our regularly scheduled board meetings. The board has determined to schedule special educational workshops on topics as needed. So our first discussion or our first workshop is going to be in March, and it's going to be on board bylaws and policies. The board has determined to schedule a State of the District event in which the elected legislators, city and township members, realtors, and the public will be invited. We are looking somewhere in the fall before school starts. That's our discussion, and we're going to work on that. All right? I think that's what we agreed. Fall or September?
End of February,
Yeah, we
or
said
after the
March, I
state of.
Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, you are right. We said sometime in February, March as part of like a state of address. The last thing I just want to say is I want to thank my committee for helping me put this together. This was Candace Cunningham and Angela Pacito. I also would like to thank Mr. Walmsley for hosting our workshop at our board office. Due to the weather, we had to change sites real quick, and it was set up and ready to go when we joined him at 8. And finally, I'd like to thank the whole board for participating in this Saturday. I know it wasn't a good morning weather-wise. I know it was early. I thought we had some really good discussion, and I'm glad to see that we are continuing and will continue to work as a group to improve ourselves. That's mine. Okay, Angela, you're first, or after me.
I am all set, thank you.
Candace.
Thanks, Deb. I just wanted to kind of say the same thing as you. Thank you to all the board members for being open to talking about things that could be cautious to talk about, and we got through a lot, and I look forward to the rest of the year, and just thank you to everyone.
Danielle.
I'm good.
Margaret.
I'm good.
Kelly.
I'm good.
Did I call you?
You did not, but I'm all set.
Sandy.
I'm all set.
Okay. Okay, next item on our agenda is public.
Part of this one.
Pardon me?
Is Connor part of this one?
I'm sorry. I don't know.
I had Connor, yeah.
Yeah, we did talk that Connor would be a part of it.
I am sorry, I did miss that. So Connor, do you have any comments?
I'm all good.
Thank you very much. New changes, have to get used to it. Public comments is our next item on our agenda. Since the last board meeting, I received an email from a parent regarding a bus transportation issue. This email was forwarded to Mr. Walmsley, who is dealing with their concerns. We had no public comments from the last board meeting, so I have no additional comments. At this time, any member of the public may address the board. Please sign in and state your name. You will have 3 minutes to address the board. Are there any public comments?
I have a question real quick though, about that. Has that been resolved?
I was just going to say it.
The bus?
It has been resolved, I believe.
resolved.
Let's talk
Because
about that.
Brian told us it's been resolved.
Yeah.
I will let Mr. Walmsley address it.
No
No
public.
public comments? No? Okay.
So regarding the bus stop, there was kind of a two-fold email. One was the bus stop at Amos and using it, and then there was another email that was forwarded to me, or I got regarding students walking from Pinewood, walking to the Amos bus stop. We have moved the bus stop, so it began today, the new bus stop location. So those students no longer have to walk on the Gratiot part that it doesn't have any sidewalk, as well as the concern of the Amos bus stop. I had contacted the owner, yes, it would be in there, and to talk to her regarding it, so.
Okay, great.
And I just want to say thank you for that, because you did it really quick, and it was very important, because it was talked about, and it was a huge safety thing, so thank you for taking care of that so quickly.
When I, along that, Susie Fulgham, our bus driver, transportation director, she really did the leg of the work. She rode that route, she went out there, she talked to them, did all the legwork behind it, and I can put it to finalize, but she did the work, so I appreciate her diligence in working and getting this resolved, so. But the bus stop started today, the new stop.
Thank you. So we have resolved the bus
That's
issue. Okay, next item on our agenda is action items. I will start with, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of a new and amended board policies.
I move to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and approve the following board policies as presented during the first readings of policy at the Board of Education meeting on December 11, 2023, effective the date listed in the backup documentation. Do I have to say all the policies, or can I just say what was in the backup documentation?
The backup document has all those policies, so.
So I don't have to read them? Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do I have support?
Support.
Any discussion? No follow-up or anything on any of that? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of a contract for an Anto-image table. I think I said that right. Antimage. Thank
I
you.
move to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and approve the contract for the purchase of an anatomy visualization system table from
Antomash.
Antimage, thank you, Inc., for an amount not to exceed $83,400, for which funding from the General Fund CTE Equipment Grant Section 61C is authorized and approved, purchasing the optional additional 4-year extended warranty for an amount not to exceed $21,840, for which funding from the General Fund Vocational Education 61A1 funding is authorized.
Do I have support?
Support.
Angela? Okay, any discussion?
We were supposed to get a grant for this, correct?
They're both grants. They're both the CT grant. They're in the general fund, but they're
Okay.
both CT funds.
Okay, that's fine.
I would like to request a follow-up on this one. I'd like to see a demonstration or just, how it's being used, how it's used. So, I mean, we could make a field trip across the hall.
We've done them before.
Yeah, we have.
Absolutely, I
So,
think that would be great.
I would like to see that when we do get it all set and kind of settled.
And I think we did say that when we did the presentation too, but yeah,
So.
that would be cool.
Okay. Any other further discussion? All those, I'm sorry, this is a roll call vote. Margaret?
Aye.
Angela?
Aye.
Candace?
Aye.
Sandy?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Danielle?
Aye.
I vote aye, motion carries. I'm looking for a motion for the approval of a contract to relocate the shot put and discus.
I motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent, sorry, and approve the contract with Hinojosa
That sounds great.
Contracting for the installation and relocation of the shot put and discus for an amount to not to exceed $14,860. Furthermore, the board authorizes the superintendent to enter into a contractual agreement within the scope of the project and on behalf of the Board of Education. Consistent with general provisions of the board purchasing policy, the superintendent is authorized to approve change orders on the project that are within the bond budget for allowances and contingency funds. This project is authorized in the application for preliminary qualifications of bonds, approved by the Michigan Department of Treasury and approved by the voters of Richmond Community Schools, for which funding from the 2020 School Building and Site Bond Series 1 and 2022 School Building and Site Bond Series 2 is available.
Support.
Thank you. Any questions?
Yes, I have a question, actually.
Good.
Will this be ready and up in time for the spring? Or when will this start and will we be ready?
That is our intent. It is being located in the field across from the middle school, near the fire pit. So we'll pour the cement and the slabs, everything, and get everything ready that needs to be before we actually move the net poles over. So we know that it's ready, but that is the intent.
So we would still be able to use the other, they would be it in case if it wasn't done in time.
Correct. The one issue is because of the swale that was put in. We did look at, just so the board knows, look at just kind of shifting it and keeping it over there, but thinking long-term, if the board ever wanted to add additional parking, that would be the area that you would be adding it, and you'd have to take it, kind of like the baseball diamond, you'd have to take out what you just put in and move it. Where we're putting it, you're more likely not going to put any construction because that is the line of the fiber line that goes from high school to the middle school, so not necessarily going to be building a building unless we're going to relocate all the fiber line and everything, so but that is the intent.
Great, so then, if I heard Angela's question correct, the idea is it would be ready, but the other one's not, it's still going to be used?
Yes,
So it's not
they
gonna
can
hurt
use
our
it.
spring season?
No.
Okay. All right, I just want to make sure I heard that correct.
Any other questions? Okay, this is a roll call vote. Angela?
Aye.
Margaret?
Aye.
Candace?
Aye.
Sandra?
Aye.
Kelly?
Aye.
Danielle?
Aye.
I vote aye, motion carries. Okay, I'm looking for a motion for the approval of the 12th amendment of the contract for the superintendent.
I motion to approve the 12th amendment of the contract for the superintendent as presented in the attached documentation.
Support.
Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for the approval of designee for the Asbestos Hazard Emergency Response Act of the 1986, as well as the identification of the designated person.
I move to accept the recommendation of the superintendent to designate Jamie Thiel for the term of his employment with Richmond Community Schools as the asbestos designee as required by the Asbestos Hazard Emergency Response Act, AHERA of 1986, consistent with the attached resolution. Furthermore, the board shall indemnify Jamie Thiel consistent with the attached resolution.
Do I have support?
Support.
Any questions?
Yeah, I know we can't talk about it until we make the motion, which is why I made the motion, but can I ask why wouldn't this be our facilities person? Why is it the human resources person?
Because the facilities falls under Jamie, and so it's ultimately one of our cabinet level. In the policy that was approved when we, 2020, when was that policy? When we went through, in it references actually Jamie and the facility, so that policy will have to come to you because we can only have one designee. Jamie, Preston, as well as our 3 general maids all went through the training Thursday of last week, Wednesday of last week, I think it was Wednesday, so they've gone through the training.
So ultimately, it's because the human resources is the highest
The
level.
highest level.
That's
Final
enough.
Yep.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other?
And I'll just say this, and I said it, I think when we brought the custodian, this becomes more, I don't want to say pertinent to the district, because it is pertinent because we have to account for what asbestos we have in our buildings, or what's remaining, I should say. But now that we have custodians in-house that are potentially working on stuff, they need to be aware of that process. So we'll be training the custodians. We did it when asbestos identification, when they first brought in, and we'll do that as an annual training to them too.
So we're attaching that position though to Jamie rather than the position of human resources.
Right, so
For
the way
language
it
is-
reads, when Jamie wins the lottery and says, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
We've got a sign off that says basically, he's ending, who's the next person? And which is the document, because right now, when we had, before we went to Thrun, I was the person, so I'm signing off that it's not me, it's Jamie, and he's picking up at that point.
It's kind of similar to the business manager, TME, is our person for harassment type complaints. We needed a male and a female. It's that kind of similar. It's not, I don't know if that was your question,
Yeah,
but that
no.
another job, all of that, it is another job, but it's kind of, I look at it along the same lines as what that position, what that part of the job.
I would say the nice part about our district is we were in a very good spot because of the bond work, and we had a lot of asbestos removed out of our building. So we don't have the level that many districts do. There is still some in the older part, but it's not what we had previously.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for the approval of CBA courses for board members.
I motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent as designated by, I'm sorry.
You want me to
Go for it,
okay.
please, thank you.
I motion to approve Board Member Cunningham CBA 107 course, Labor Relations, completed on December 14th, 2023, through the Michigan Association of School Boards. The registration for CBA 107 shall be paid for by the district. Furthermore, the board authorizes the registration and payment of CBA 101, fundamentals of school board services to be completed and paid by the district for all new board members. In addition, all board members are authorized to enroll in up to one Michigan Association of School Board MASB CBA course without formal board approval for calendar year 2024. All appropriate reimbursements for coursework that would apply to board members taking the course, which includes mileage, meal reimbursement, as well as hotel reimbursement, so long as the hotel reimbursement falls within the district practice for determining whether a hotel night is reimbursable.
Do I have
Support.
support? I'm sorry, Angela?
Yes, support.
Okay. Any discussion?
I just wanted to, since our workshop, I did call the MASB, and those courses are going to be covered up through October of this year. And then, I guess it falls back on the legislature to, if it'll be covered past that again.
Yeah, so
The
it would
99
just be an
yeah.
annual in the budget process this year. That would be something that they would either continue or take out. The only thing I would ask for a discussion, if board members are taking it, we talked about this at the workshop about taking course, please let Cindy and I know, because if we can reimburse, we're going to go for reimbursement. And then we need to bring Tammy involved, because I don't know what that process, how long that process takes for reimbursement, so just keep us informed.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'm looking for a motion for the approval of Richmond Administrators Association contract amendment and extension.
I motion to accept the recommendation of the superintendent and approve the contract amendment between the Board of Education of Richmond Community Schools and Richmond Administrators Association through July 31st, 2026, as outlined in the attached documentation.
Do I have support?
Support.
Danielle?
We're giving it to Danielle.
Yes.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There being no further business, the board will adjourn at 8:16. Thank you, everyone.